Good morning, good evening to our amazing partner, wherever you guys are. I hope you guys having an amazing July. It's the last week of July, so we're almost starting our August. We have two more TRW, and today we are with the OC, Okanagan College in BC. We have Petya and Jade from OC today with us. If you guys can turn on your camera, please. Click saying hi to the audience. There you go. Jade is on. And let's see. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us. As always, guys, it's 5 a.m. in BC, so I feel bad for them. They have to wake up at 5 o'clock for us. It's more of 4:30, 4, depending on when they needed to wake up. So really appreciate it, guys, for being with us. As always, the first 45 minutes of this presentation well allocated to learning more about OC, and then the last 15 minutes or so will answer your question. Please use the question box for writing your question down. As always, I'm pretty sure you guys are expert of this already. This is our 41 TRW, so and then we will send the recording version of this back to you guys so you can take advantage of learning anything afterward as well. And application discount code will be shared with you guys. ApplyBoard discount code will be shared with you guys. That's pretty much end of me talking, and I will pass it to you guys. Once again, thank you so much for being with us and waking up and taking time that early morning.
Good
Thank you very much,
morning.
Mehdi.
Thank you, Meti, for the nice welcoming. It is really a pleasure for us to be part of ApplyBoard team, to have worked with you, to have such an amazing partnership, which connects to a friendship. As Meti said, my name is Petya Whelan. I'm originally from Bulgaria, and I have moved to Canada 8 years ago. And I proudly say that Canada is the most amazing, welcoming, and organized country that I have traveled to, considering I have traveled the world through my enjoying life. But that's enough about me. Let's go back to the college and welcoming you to what our public institution has to offer for you and for your prospective students who will be soon coming to Okanagan College. So Okanagan College is located in a beautiful valley surrounded by a gorgeous lake, mountains. It has the warmest climate. We have over 4 campuses. The main campus is located in Kelowna. We have one south of us and two north of us. South of us, as you can see on the map, is Penticton. North of us, it's Vernon, and then further up north, Salmon Arm. It's approximately 45 minutes by a car, a beautiful drive along the lake to drive to Penticton, and then it's the same distance from Kelowna to Vernon, another 45 minutes. To get to Salmanar will be approximately an hour and 15 to an hour and a half. Please keep it in mind that Kelowna has an international airport, so hopefully you can visit us soon when we all can start traveling again, or your students when they will be arriving, they can fly directly from Toronto or Vancouver or Seattle or Calgary. We will be welcoming them at the airport. As we'll continue, we'll give you more updates how your student will be welcome and what services we are also offering. Jade will talk a little bit about our next slide.
Okay, so Kelowna is the third largest census metropolitan area in British Columbia. The Okanagan Valley, which includes those other cities, the Penticton and Vernon and Salmon Arm, combined together, there's about a 1.3 billion, annual tech impact. It's turned into an area where some startups decided to put down roots because of the beautiful environment, the good healthcare, the access to basically everything you would need, the high-speed internet. Also, we're very famous in Canada for our wines. The reason being the area, the Okanagan Valley, is actually very hot and dry by North American standards. and it's a perfect area for growing grapes. So if anyone was ever interested in seeing what a traditional winery would look like, well, we actually have them in our area. We get about 2,000 hours of sun every year, so you can really enjoy the beach at the lake. And the airport is the 10th busiest, which means that you don't have to worry about the Toronto kind of busy. It's the nice kind of busy here in the Kelowna area. All right, next slide. So a little view on the climate. You can see that precipitation levels in Vancouver can be quite high. Now, of course, they're right next to the ocean, so that might make sense. But in Kelowna, we don't actually get that much rain every year. So that goes back into our sunshine. And then you look at the average temperatures in July. It says 27 degrees now. Personally, I don't feel that's accurate because it's 33 yesterday and I think it's 34 today. But if you love the weather, then this is where you come. And it's blue sky. It's perfect for going for walks if you'd like to get on your bicycle or go hiking in the mountains or swimming in the lake, or maybe you want to start up golfing. It's all here. Okay. Peche, would you like to explain this one a little bit?
Absolutely. And we wanted this to be back and forth, so it will make you feel comfortable. We're just part of you guys. So being connected with so many countries all around the world, make us get up at 3, 4, 2, 1. It doesn't matter. It really makes us so excited. Jed and I talked earlier when we woke up how excited we are to talk in front of all of you. So thank you for being here. I'll talk to you a little bit about the rent prices, which is a very good news. Canada is it's pretty affordable country to live in. We all know with the dollar value. But I have even better news for you. The Kelowna is not just beautiful, stunning, gorgeous city you can see on the bottom of this slide, but also has a very reasonable rent and cost of living. As you can see from this slide, average rent per month, it will be approximately $1,300, where if students live in Vancouver or Calgary, it's quite much more expensive considering this is per month. Okanagan College also offers student residence. Students can apply to live in a dormitory, excuse me, and the cost per semester is $2,500. This does not include food, but we have an outstanding culinary management diploma program, and our students, which will be your students, will be taking this program and they're cooking for all faculty, staff, and students. So if students live in a dormitory, they can have breakfast, snack, lunch, late snack at the cafeteria for a very affordable price. I also want to mention here that all 4 campuses I mentioned earlier in Penticton, Kelowna, Vernon, and Salmonarm are centrally located. Students can either take the bus from right or in front of campus and go to places where they can shop or do whatever they have to do to get their supplies, or easily walk to the grocery store within banks within 10 minutes. So for them to live in a residence without food would not be an issue. They will be living in a pod where they will share their 4 bedrooms and a kitchen. They can prepare their own meals if they wish, or they can walk to restaurants, coffee shop, or go to the cafeteria. And our third option will be a homestay. I'm sure most of you, if not everyone, is familiar what homestay is. We have a homestay coordinator at Okanagan College who goes and inspects the homes that we're offering to our students. Therefore, we make sure our students are safe. If they ever have complaints, they can go directly to him and we will address the complaint in a very polite way to the family. We do work with outstanding families. The price for homestay per month is $800 and includes 3 meals, full board. We know that currently we have the cheapest homestay in a province, and we're proud because we do have amazing families. So these three options are for our students, for their safety, and we just want them to have an incredible experience while they're studying at Okanagan College. We'll go to the next slide now. Employment. We feel somewhat obligated to put this slide here, considering we're, as the rest of the students and people, we know that supporting family or even students during their studies is important. And as the government is allowing students to work part-time during their full time of studies as an academic students, and a full-time working during any breaks. I hope I'm not confusing you. So I'll give you an example. If a student is taking minimum, they have to 3 classes, they're considering full-time students in an academic program, not ESL. Therefore, they can work 20 hours per week. This is as of today. Anything can change from the government and we cannot take responsibility for that. As of today, again, students can work full-time, 40 hours per week, if they're during any breaks. For example, our fall semester ends in April, so they have May, June, July, and August, 4 months to work 40 hours per week, which will be 160 hours per month. The minimum wage just increased and now is $14.60 per hour. In my opinion, I'm sure Jade will confirm with me right now. I would not believe if a student wants to work in would not be able to find a job. There are jobs in Kelowna and Vernon and Penticton and Salmon all over because we're such a touristy destination. Any student who wants to work will find job. We can't guarantee, but we know that our students are all over, are loving it, and it's very good because we're also a seasonal destination. So really people are looking for students when our semester finished. So during the summer there are so many opportunities. They can work on the field, they can work in the hotel, the hospitality and tourism, they can work in a bank. I went to my bank and within a month a girl who arrived from another country, I will give you example from Nigeria, was assisting me. She already had a job at the bank and she was in her second semester, second month into her. It's all about desire, I have to say. So the employment is in Kelowna and in Okanagan. It's up to the student if they want to find this opportunity. We have over 240 wineries. We're surrounded by gorgeous vineyards, orchards. In the summertime, right now, we have the best cherries. They're this big and very sweet. We export cherries all across Canada and even in North America. We have delicious wine. We hope that we're welcoming you to Okanagan College so we can give you a tour of our campuses and the Okanagan region as well. Okay, we'll go to the next slide and I'll pass it to Jade now.
Okay. One of the interesting things about our area is that Vernon, which was just north of Kelowna, was selected as part of a rural northern immigration pilot project. Essentially, what this is a few places were selected in Canada, not very many. I think it might have been as few as just 3 or 4. Vernon was selected as one of them, and students who take their classes in Vernon and decide they want to settle in Vernon can get bonus points if they are looking towards getting their permanent residence. So that is a very interesting draw that we are the only college that has a campus actually in Vernon. And so if students would like to explore more about the programs there, such as the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Science, or a business diploma, if they take their studies and settle there afterwards, it'd become even easier for them to get permanent residence if they wished. Okay, next slide. Okay, here's a beautiful overview of some of the cities. So as you can see, they're very idyllic. They're just wonderful places to visit. All of them are close to the lake. So if anybody likes water or a beach or some other activity, then any city will be perfect for them. Okay, let's go to the next slide. All right, so a snapshot of our student body and of our college. We offer about 130 plus programs. And we have students from over 60 countries. I think you can see a selection of them there. Now, these are actually our students. I guess the Okanagan College binder in her hand gave that away, so this is not a posed picture. But we have students here from India. I believe one of Petya's students from Brazil is on the left side, China, Malaysia. So this is a wonderful snapshot. There's about 10,000 students full-time and about 1,700 are international students. So proportionally, there's still a very good mix between Canadian students and international students. And it makes the classrooms just a wonderful place to exchange ideas. Okay, next. All right, tuition information. So our approximate tuition for 1 year is very simple. $1,416 per class. So if you take 10 classes, then $14,160 for almost all our academic classes. When you get into specialized programs such as the engineering or the technical programs such as our collision, refinishing, repair diplomas, then the charge per credit is a little bit different. But any student going into business, arts, or science, if they're taking an academic class, it's the same price, whether it has a lab, no lab, or anything. So it makes our pricing structure very easy to understand. There are some additional fees. Application fee is $100. This is non-refundable. Average cost per course, $1,554. That's including the additional tech fees, student services fee, activity fees on top of the 1,416 that I mentioned before. And of course, there's an admission deposit of $10,000. That $10,000 goes towards any tuition that they pay or any other fees, and it's used to confirm their seat. So when they get their offer letter, one of the conditions to accept would be the $10,000 deposit. All right, Petya, would you like to explain the next slide?
Most definitely. Thank you, Jade. Okay. Admission information. So if your student is interested in any of our academic program that Jade mentioned earlier, and please don't think that those are the only programs we are offering at Okanagan College. We just have listed a few for you to know the general information, but definitely get in touch with ApplyBoard. These people are extremely knowledgeable about our programs. They have sent us hundreds of students already, so make sure you connect with them. And of course, none of us know everything, so if they need a answer and can give you that answer right away, they will reach out to us, and we try to be very proactive and connect with them. So admission requirements for our students, we take 3 English proficiency exams for now, but I want to make a little note on the third one. I will start with the one that I'm sure everybody knows. It's IELTS. For IELTS, your students must achieve for academic IELTS a minimum score of 6.0 for all bands. We cannot take an academic IELTS score with a band of 5.5. Even if the average can be 7.0 and one band is 5.5, unfortunately, we would not accept. The IELTS cannot be older than 2 years, so it has to be taken within the 2 years mark. The second proficiency exam we're accepting is TOEFL. For TOEFL, we're accepting average score of minimum of 79. It has to be internet-based, IBT. And the third option, due to pandemic, to be good to our students and to accept them to Okanagan College, we incorporate, I'm sure with many other colleges, the Duolingo exam. Please make a note that the Duolingo for right now is only approved until the end of this year. So we are accepting Duolingo for this fall and for January 2021, but starting for fall of 2021, as of now, we don't have an approval. So if you have a potential students who want to apply for the fall of 2021, we would recommend that they either wait for an approval from if we will accept it or not, or to be safe, take an academic IELTS or TOEFL exam. Again, the Duolingo for right now is approved only for this fall of 2020, and for January 2021, the minimum score required is 105. Students must request that their score is sent directly to our college for verification. And when the student has applied, they will need to provide their student ID number. But we can work on these little details once we receive your applicant. Okay, and of course, if student has attended Canadian high school or is from the United States, we will look into their English 12 grade, and if they have 60% or higher of average, they will be admissible without taking the English proficiency test. We will not be able to tell you that before the student apply, as we receive many applications from around the world, and unfortunately, we cannot evaluate applicants who have not applied to Okanagan College. If they don't meet the requirements, we will inquire them to take an English proficiency exam. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, and here is again what choices. Jade mentioned the fees and the choices. We gather the general program. So we do have an Associate of Arts degree, an Associate of Science degree. This program will allow your students to start at Okanagan College, and because we're a public institution, all of the courses the students will take can be transferable to any British Columbia universities. I'll give you a very good example. Kelowna has a university, and the university is University of British Columbia, Okanagan. So students can start studying at our college, and because we don't have a four-year degree in arts, they can start with us, finish 2, 3, or 4 semesters, and then transfer their credits to UBCO or to UVic, University of Victoria, or to University of British Columbia in Vancouver, or to Thompson River University. So all the credits they will be taking in this, specifically these 2 degrees, they can transfer and continue with their studies. One positive thing for you to let your students know is they can finish the Associate of Arts and Associate of Science degree and apply for their post-graduation work permit if they wish, which is, again, as of today, they're eligible to apply for up to 3 years of post-graduation work permit. So if they want to take a little break and apply for post-graduation work permit, they can. If they don't want to take a break, they can pursue it and go to university in British Columbia. Of course, we have 2 outstanding academic advisors who will help them once they know which university they want to go to, which program they want to go to. They get closer to our academic advisors. They will always guide them with the correct courses. Okay, we also have a computer information diploma and computer information degree. So I mentioned that we didn't have a degree in the arts and science, but we do have 2 degrees at Okanagan College as of today. One is computer information system, and the second one is Bachelor of Business Administration. Those are the 4-year, 2 4-year degree that students can start at the college and finish there. However, for those who don't want to study a 4-year degree, we offer the 2-year computer information system and the 2-year business administration. We call it BUAD. They can specialize in accounting, finance, management, marketing. They can go into the stream that they want to take once they're accepted into the business administration diploma program. Again, because we're a public institution, as of today, all of your applicants will be eligible to apply for up to 3 years of post-graduation work permit if they choose to study with us a diploma program, which is 2 years. As I mentioned earlier, we have an outstanding culinary management diploma program that students can start either in August or in January. This is a very popular program that domestic and international students love, and it fills up quickly. So I would encourage you, if you have potential students for fall 2021, start gathering some information. And as early as of today, October 1st, it will be when we will start accepting applications for fall 2021. We also have a certificate program. So the culinary management program, students will start with 2 semesters of cooking classes in our cafeteria and kitchen. The program is outstanding. If you come visit us in Kelowna, we will take you directly to the kitchen. The professors are so welcoming and kind to our students. So the first 2 years they will be cooking. The first 2 semesters they will be cooking, which will be their first year. And the last year, the last 2 semesters, they will be taking the business courses. And I always joke and say with my amazing clients, their third year, when they apply for their study permit and they post-graduation work permit, their third year, once they complete the program, they get approved for post-graduation work permit, they open their own restaurant in Kelowna, and the Okanagan will be so excited to have another international restaurant in town, as people love to eat out. So keep this program in mind. It's one of our very attractive program, the culinary management diploma program. All of them are, but I'm just giving you some highlights as well. We also have programs in excuse me, health and social development, not very many. As you know, that students cannot be accepted into School of Nursing, despite we're building an incredible new building on campus for our nursing students. However, your students can start with the Associate of Science degree, transfer to UBCO, and in the future, they can become nurses as they become permanent residency. The sky is the limit, as we said, so it's possible. We do have human service work diploma program and early childhood education. Please keep in mind, these programs have only one intake and the program fill up very, very fast. Or if students are interested into this program, I would recommend that you apply as early as possible, as applications for fall 2021 again will open on October 1st. We also have very attractive technology programs. We have mechanical, civil, water engineering program. We also have sustainable construction management diploma program. All of these technology programs have one intake, September. So the next application portal will be open October 1st. They're truly outstanding 2 years diplomas. Again, all students will qualify for up to 3 years of post-graduation work permit. All technology programs are offered in Kelowna except the sustainable construction management, for the reason being that we have an incredibly fascinating building on our campus in Penticton. Is rated platinum, and it has everything a student can need to take this program there and to become an expert of how to build green building where we don't have heating and air conditioning. Everything is through solar panels. I would tell you that University of British Columbia has signed an agreement with us to learn how to build such a fascinating buildings and to teach their students. So the Sustainable Construction Management Diploma program offered in Penticton is another one that I also love. And I missed one program into the health field. That's the kinesiology program that we also offer only in Penticton, only in September. this is another great program, and the reason for us to offer it there is because they have an amazing lab and also a gym and fitness facility. The kinesiology program will focus mainly on students who eventually want to become a physiotherapist. This will be a good way for them to get to know the vocabulary for the skeleton of the body. And as I mentioned, they cannot apply to become physiotherapists right away as they're not Canadians. They can start with the kinesiology program, then they can go into the route of becoming permanent resident and go to a physiotherapy school. So many great programs. Again, not all of them can be outlined here, but reach out to the outstanding ApplyBoard team. They will give you the detailed information. We also have two amazing programs into the trades, and I'll let you, Jade, talk to you. As so, Jade actually recruits many students from India right now, and I also do, but he has had a great experience with these programs. He has met with the chair, so let him speak to you a little bit about the trades. And it's
Okay,
more
thank you,
like
Betsy.
mainly program, right? He would deliver it better. Thank you, Jade.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. We've had several women join the program, including from India, from my market, and they've done
Hey,
very well.
true. I wish I can know. I would love to work on cars. It's awesome. I don't have to be calling someone to come fix it when it's broken.
Yeah. The programs she's talking about are two that we're very proud to offer. One is the Collision Refinishing Repair Diploma. It is a 2-year program. Students will be learning how to repair collision damage, windshields, bodywork, that sort of thing, repainting. Some of the students have managed to produce some really cool paint jobs, something that I guess you would call hot rods with the flames going down the side of the car. And the other program we have is called an Automotive Service Technician Diploma. And it's more than just a mechanic. It's actually focusing more on the service technology as well. So students do learn how to repair every piece of the car, but they're also combining it with service skills. A lot of the dealers in our area have said that it's easy to find somebody who can fix a car, but to have somebody who understands what needs to be fixed and to be able to effectively communicate that to the customer, that's not always so easy. So the students are also getting some managerial skills about, how to run a garage, how to run a shop, how to understand what a business needs to make money, how to speak to customers, as well as getting the hands-on training with the cars. Now, I will probably speak a little bit about the programs that we were talking about before in our new environment with travel bans in effect. I'm sure all of you have questions about, well, what can my students actually take now or in January? Collision repair, automotive service technology diploma, unfortunately, both have to be face-to-face. So if a student is not able to travel, they won't be able to even begin their studies online. There's only one intake per year in both those programs in September. So if you do have potential students interested in, then they should be looking for September 2021. The good news is that almost every single other program that Petya described earlier is available in an online format. And especially in the arts, science, and business, seats are still available for September coming up, just in 2 months from now. Actually, less than that, I guess if I look, if we're at the end of July. So if students are still looking for an option to begin online studies under the new program announced by the Canadian government to allow them to still get a postgraduate work permit without penalty, then you should definitely contact ApplyBoard to get a more in-depth list. Some programs are also accepting students for January and online and face-to-face. So I thought that would be an important thing to note. And if you have more specific questions about that, we'd be happy to answer them. So in general, you can categorize our programs into mostly 2-year. There's the diplomas, which you would get through arts, things such as environmental studies. There's a kinesiology diploma. You can actually see one of our students in our kinesiology program in Penticton. She is the model for this picture. She is from India. I'm always happy to see my students appear in our promotional materials. Our degrees, of course, were described earlier in computer information systems and in business. Those are 4 years. We also offer postgraduate diplomas. We call them a post-baccalaureate diploma. And a key thing I'd like to talk about with these, some people get a little bit confused, is they have a business student, an accounting student, and they see that we offer post-baccalaureate diplomas in accounting. They think it's a perfect match. Well, it's actually not what the program's designed for. It's actually difficult for them to get into it. Our post-baccalaureate diploma programs are to give additional skills to students who did not study in that field. So for instance, maybe an art student who has a degree would like to get some business marketing skills. Well, they would be a perfect candidate for the post-baccalaureate diploma in marketing. They will be gaining many of the skills that a first-year student would be gaining going into that program, but they also have faster access to the upper level programs. So they are able to choose more of what they want to study, but at the same time, the idea is they're going in as if it was a new field for them and not if they have already a bachelor degree or a master's degree in that field. Some of the certificates were highlighted by Petya, especially in the culinary program. However, usually the certificate programs lead to less value, especially when it comes to the postgraduate work permit. So we mostly focus on our 2-year programs, and students can usually bridge into the 4-year programs later if they want, especially in the computer science and business. So I guess we could go on to the next slide. Actually, I think we're almost done, aren't we? Student services. Okay, so our student service team is amazing. Petya is always talking very highly about them, and her enthusiasm for our student services team is very contagious. So I'd like to take this moment to talk about them a little bit. Now, the International Student Services Center, there is international student services at all of our campuses. The main international office is in Kelowna, and that's when we were still going into the office. That's where Petya and I would drive every day. But almost everything is available online, of course. Our education advising is available if students need it through email. We also have a full immigration advisor. He is a licensed RCIC. So he is available only for students who are actually already part of Okanagan College, though. So unfortunately, if you're thinking, oh, I can just send all my students to him for the immigration questions, no, they need to apply and get accepted first. You can't do that to our poor AR. But if students have any questions at all about renewing study permits, about postgraduate work permit, any of that sort of thing, then we have a person dedicated on staff for them. There's free tutoring available. The libraries have, all the full services students can take out a laptop with their student card if they would like to do, some mobile work on campus and they don't have one. There's private study rooms fully connected with whiteboards, TVs, that kind of stuff. And essentially any service that you would expect to have at a college or university, Okanagan College does provide as well. Okay. Oh, one more thing I want to highlight. Sorry, I need to highlight this. Our cultural liaisons. It's the last point on the slide. I think it is really important. One of the unique things that we do is we have hired previous international students from many different countries, and they have turned into one-on-one operators to help with students whenever they come in. So that is an additional benefit as well. But I think we're moving into the questions and running low on time, so I'm going to take a step back. If you have anything you'd like to ask, then please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Actually, you guys still have 5 more minutes. So if you want to say anything about OC, you guys can continue. We're very much on time. So you guys nailed it. I love that. I love the energy, guys, here. Really appreciate it. I cannot believe that it's right now, it's almost 6 a.m. of your morning and you guys still have that much energy, Your day, I feel, is just never ended yesterday. It just was continuous of yesterday, right? Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I definitely love that. I think we've been working with the Okanagan College for almost 3.5, 4 years, and all the team are lovely. Whenever I bump to any of you guys on the road or seeing you guys, anywhere. You guys are amazing and full of energy. I think this is some contagious stuff like that. You guys are. It's a whole college and the whole team, so really appreciate it. Uh, cool. So the first question I will ask the Duolingo. Yes, they have mentioned they're accepting it for January and fall. But the next question is saying for the September due to the pandemic, do you guys do you guys allow the students to get extension for fall or do you accept deferral?
I can answer that question. So students, if they have applied for September and they are still waiting for some documents that they need to get their final acceptance letter, we do provide extensions, especially for programs that still have seats available, like in our arts, our science, and our business. Some of the limited enrollment programs, the deadlines don't get extended because there's still domestic students that could fill those seats. So that's just a reality if students want to learn, and if the student that can learn that's ready to go versus a student who can't come, then we'll make sure that a student gets in. The reverse is true though too. For an international student, if one was here and ready to go, and there was a domestic student that wasn't getting their documents in, then we would make room for that. So we're flexible. Please contact us for more about that. Deferrals are definitely an option for almost every program. If it has a January intake, we can divert to January. And you can always ask ApplyBoard for which programs have a January intake or not. But so deferrals and extensions are available, yes.
Thank you so much. Next question is saying around the tuition deposit, the $10,000. Can you kind of elaborate more around when is that due? Is it like 10 days after you guys issue the offer, or there is a set date before the intake? So,
Petya, I think you wanted to quickly answer something about the previous question, and then I'll take that one.
Okay, I actually wanted to add something else to you guys as Mehdi gave us the podium again, and I just love to give you all the valuable information since we don't get to see you every day. I also wanted to let you know that we have opened just recently our BUAT, Bachelor of Business Administration diploma program for winter 2021. So if you have applicants who are still looking to apply for this coming winter, we're accepting applications for Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, and for business as well. These programs were closed until recently, so it's a big highlight, and we wanted to give you this information. As you can see that we haven't even included in our slides, as we pretty much want to address that to our leading clients, and ApplyBoard is definitely on the very top of our podium. So if you have clients want to start in January, considering the pandemic and study permits has been delayed, please take advantage and send ApplyBoard your applications, and they can apply on your behalf. So this is why I raised my hand. I want to make a little note about the deposit. Now I'm going to the question that has been asked, and I will also to ask Jay to speak about it. So unfortunately, you guys, for some countries, students has to pay a little bit more deposit than others. I believe for the Philippines and for India, students have to pay $10,000 deposits fee, where for South America, Mexico, Africa, I believe the Caribbean, they only have to pay $5,000 deposit fee. Not to confuse you right now, it's always good to get in touch again with, I'm giving you really a present information. So for example, if you have a client from Brazil, they will only need to pay $5,000 deposit. However, the government, and Jade will talk to you a little bit more about that, is requiring a $10,000 deposit from the student. This is not a bad thing. I have had students paying the $10,000 deposit without problem. And the advantage of that is that when they pay the money, our admission team will send them the receipt right away, with which once they receive the unconditional letter of acceptance, the students will be able to apply, showing how much money they have already paid. The deposit fee is set into their own student bank account, we call. This money are used for their first semester tuition fee. If there is less money they have to pay, for example, $8,000 the first semester, they're going to have the extra $2,000 for the following semester, and vice versa. If they have paid only $5,000 and their tuition fee is $8,000, they will pay the remaining $3,000 when they arrive on campus, or if we're doing online, they will have to pay when they register for classes. Usually when a letter of acceptance is issued, there is the condition on it for the deposit, either $5,000 or $10,000. And usually our admissions office gives the student about a month before they pay the deposit. But as I said, they're going to have the advantage to get their receipts and also to reserve their seat for this program. This is a non-refundable deposit. We will only give the money back if the student get a denial letter from Immigration Services. When we receive the letter of the denial letter, we will request the money, and they will be refunded to the student the same way we have received the money back. Of course, there's some exception in terms of your student need another extra week before they pay the fees due to some uncertainties with the banks and etc. We're all humans. We will respond by case, and we will try our best to accommodate that for the student and for you, and work with you. We are here to help the student and you in a very possible way to make their arrival to Okanagan College, and mainly to get their study permit, most importantly. That's from me about the deposit. And sorry, Jay, I jumped on it. I just wanted to make sure that for different countries is not our choice. We were told that this is how it has to work, is by the government. So some countries require $5,000, some require $10,000. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. I think you're addressing to the STS. STS countries, even 10,000 is not enough. They should actually pay the full first year tuition fee. And if the student is applying under STS, that's what it's required. But thanks for clarifying that. I think that was really nice. I forgot what question was the last one. Okay, I was gonna ask this. Is the math, I think that's more of you, Jade, is your market. Is math required for business programs?
Yes, it is. Mathematics is required for business programs. However, if the applicant is from India, I think this gets a little more complicated. So I'm going to speak specifically to the Indian agents here. If they're in the commerce stream, we can look at the accountancy and economics. And if both are 60% or higher, then we can use that to equate towards mathematics. Otherwise, essentially, you'd be looking at have they took it as an additional, they need 60, or if they were, I believe it's non-medical, that would also have the mathematics. But yes, mathematics is required for business. Unless you're a commerce student, then we can look at accountancy and economics, both 60 to qualify.
Thank you. The next question is for the students from Nigeria. They say, is Nigerian students are exempt from the IELTS or English proficiency test? Do they require to provide you guys with the IELTS or no?
They are, yes, of course, unless they fail their English. We will require their WEC scratch card to verify their score. So admissions will ask for their username and password. And this can be provided when students are applying, you can upload a card, and if we inquire additional information, we will get in touch with the agent from ApplyBoard, and they'll reach out to you with the additional required information. But most definitely, if the student has a good English grades, they will be exempt from the English proficiency exams. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I assume I know the answer, but I'm gonna ask the question because I know that's answered a lot of questions. Is your Bachelor of Nursing is only limited to domestic students or is open for international too?
No, we're so
Only
sad to say no, only domestic students. Yes.
Usually that's the answer, but I still ask, you know. I think it would have
Mm.
made a lot of people happy, Jay.
Oh my goodness. It
good,
would make me
smart
so
people.
happy.
Yes.
Yes. One day it will change, I hope. And then yes. But for now, no, unfortunately, domestic only.
Uh, what is the cost of EAP, your English per semester? You guys do offer
It's
English program, right? What is the cost?
yes. So ESL or EAP, English for Academic Purposes, the cost structure is still the same as academic classes. So it's at 1,416, I believe it was, per class, except if students are doing a full-time study, they will be taking the equivalent of 4 classes for most of their first 3 years. And I think their last year, they get a little bit of a break and it's equivalent of 3 classes. So if you'd like an exact fee breakdown, I can definitely send that to Mehdi and ApplyBoard and he can distribute it and it will show it. But it follows the same per course fee structure as the academic classes.
Thank you. Actually, next
And
question.
I also wanted to ask Meti, I'm sorry, we didn't mention on that slide that Okanagan College currently doesn't work with any language schools. However, we have our own pathway. So your students can start at Okanagan College and finish level 4. And that was an incredible question that you just asked about the ESL program. So in order for us to determine what level your student will be, because of the pandemic, all courses are offered online. They will need to take a Duolingo exam and send the score to us, and our academic advisor will determine their English level. Of course, once they complete level 4, they go directly into our academic programs without having to take an English proficiency test. Please make a note. If your students are in level 4, we will need to request another letter of acceptance. Therefore, the students will have to reapply for the academic program for free of cost. They don't have to pay another $100 application fee, but they will have to request which program they want to study. So just for your general knowledge, knowing we do offer English for academic purposes. When students are level 4, they go directly into an academic program. I'll leave it there. If there's more questions, we'll continue with the team and the correspondences. Thank you, Meti.
Thank you so much. The next question is, do you guys accept PTE test? Pearson, the English. No.
PTE, we usually want IELTS for most countries. PTE, sorry, my microphone just went off for a second there. The Pearson test of English, technically we can use to meet some admissions requirements. If you'd like to know the exact score, I could quickly look it up. But
There's
you'd
no
likely would still want to use the test that's most appropriate to get your study permit. So that's often what determines what test you should take more. How about you move to the next question? I'll pull up the PT information.
Sounds good. Okay, next question is around the mature students. If the student has education gap, how do you guys deal with that? Whether they're applying for UG or they're applying for PG.
So if they have any, so students can apply for a postgraduate post-baccalaureate diploma if they have a 4-year degree. No, so our post baccalaureate diploma programs are a little bit specific. For example, if students want to apply for post baccalaureate program in marketing, they have to have a non-business degree, 4-year degree. Also, they cannot apply for a post-baccalaureate diploma in accounting if they already have an accounting degree. So again, if for more specific information, you will need to reach out to ApplyBoard. However, if your student has an associate degree from back home and want to apply for a 2-year diploma in business, they can, but they can also choose to apply for a 2-year of post-baccalaureate degree in diploma in marketing. I hope that makes sense. So usually if they have a 4-year degree, students can choose to apply to the post-baccalaureate diploma. They have to meet the admission requirements. And for each program, if you go to our website, you will be very easily to see what degree they have to have in order to qualify for the post-baccalaureate diploma in marketing, for example. I hope this makes sense. If they don't have a 4-year degree, if they only have a 2-year diploma, then they can apply for another diploma program at the college.
But do you necessarily, let's say if I'm a student and I have finished my 4 years bachelor degree 7 years back, would I still be eligible to apply if I meet the other requirement? And what
Yes.
about if I'm a high school student, took 2.5 years off, was working or doing something else, and then I'm applying?
Most definitely. With the sky is the limit. Education should always be available. Even if a 6 years old woman wants to start studying with us and she has completed her study in her 20s, absolutely no restrictions. And this lead me to another positive way. We're a college, but you know, they're very well recognized in Canada. We see high school students, as we have lots of great high schools in town, and students from UBCO coming to study with us because the cost of living, I mean, the tuition fees are so much reasonable. We see high school graduates come studying with us, students in their mid-30s, 40s, 50s. There is no embarrassing age for anyone to attend our college. And as I said, we're a very supportive team. Our motto is when you walk into the international department, which we're about 15 full-time employees with about 10 cultural liaisons, you are our priority or your students, and we will always be there and try our best to answer their questions to help them out. So thank you, Meiji.
No worries. Thank you so much. And Jay, thanks for sending that. We put the PT in the chat box. It's 56, not lower than 55 in each communication skills score. I will end it with that. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning with us. Really appreciate it. To our amazing partner, as you know. And we will only have one TRW left. That's a lonely one school that's left in this slide. You know, usually was a 3 schools, but the day after tomorrow, we're going to talk about Georgian College, and that would be the end of our TRW ritual. We are coming with the next phase of something very exciting, so stay tuned. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for being with us. Once again, Jade and Petaya, thank you so much for waking up that early for us. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.